we've literally helped over 4,000, 4,500 families do this. One of the things I wanted to do in my work as I was getting down the road a little bit was create a pathway for people that wanted to enter this space without having to buy a franchise or struggle the way I struggled to start a business, and take what I've learned and share it with others. And so, as you guys know, the demographics are just insane, tilted towards the aging population, and having a way to enter into the space and offer something of value to families while you're working with them as senior specialists in their real estate, there's another income to be had here. And that's why I started writing this program 4 or 5 years ago as a boot camp, as an easy pathway into the space and getting some guidance and direction from people who've done it before. There are programs out there that you can just buy and download online. There's no personal interaction. It's just buy it and do it. And I've heard over and over and over, they're disappointed in the results. They're disappointed in the follow-up. And what we really wanted to do was do something that was personal and live. I've been involved in industry advocacy for 15 more years because this industry, when I started, was completely seen as we were called body brokers and bounty hunters. And there was a lot of negativity attached to what we're doing. So I wrote 5 years ago, little by little, been refining it, and we've launched it this year now as the Options University Boot Camp. Boot Camp is a 16-hour, 8-module program. I've been connecting to professionals around the country the last several months and offering classes, group classes that we can offer affordably so that for professionals that want to step into a new business, you can do that with me in a very efficient and cost-effective way. I don't want to be braggy. But I just want to tell you it's worthwhile. We've made a 6-figure income at this business since 2005. So it is a way to really juice your income, build a business that means something significant, impact families, and seriously, this is so important to me that two of my daughters are now working for us, and everything I'm telling you is exactly what I'm telling and teaching them. And one of them will be in a class next week that we start as Molly is transitioning away from her career as a school teacher and joining us in the business, on the placement business. So I am literally doing classes starting next week. We're doing 2 days next week. I have day and evening hours available. The day hours are Monday and Thursday, 7 a.m. your time to 11 a.m. my time. If you're in the Pacific time zone, 8 a.m. for the Mountain time. The following week on the 18th and 19th, same times, 7 in the morning Pacific time. Additionally, I'm doing an evening class on Monday and Tuesday next week. And that time would be 4 p.m. Mountain time or 3 p.m. Pacific time on Monday. I'm sorry, on Tuesday, and the same on Wednesday. The following week, the same thing, Tuesday and Wednesday. I do have date April as well, April 15th and 17th. And then the next week, April 22 and 24. I priced as I was doing my research and refining. The online programs run $4,000 to $10,000 that I've seen. I charged $5,000 for Julie, your group, and colleagues that want to get on board with us. We're doing this program for $2,000. For the individuals, I'll make some financial arrangements if you need some help with that. But it's significantly discounted approach to doing this because I believe in the mission that you guys, Julie, you and I have talked over and over about really, really developing the tender heart and the compassion that families need to, as a professional, be able to guide these families not just guide them to get paid, but guide them with some knowledge and some insight. And there's a lot of, I don't want to say clinical that's required, but there's a lot of things that are likely unknown by most people when they get into that. And during teaching people how to do the assessment and the intake part of this, matching their care needs to the right senior living providers, there's some art to it. And I really want to focus on the individualism that I think is needed to do this well for people and do it right. Because the last thing you want to do is take them through a process, get paid, and 60 or 90 days later find out it didn't work out, and the family's gotten frustrated or aggravated and moved on to another situation. And I just hate when that happens. And it's not a perfect science by any means, but the better prepared we are, the more insight we develop, the more exposure to those factors, you can get, a very high degree of likelihood you're going to get a positive outcome. And that's really what families need, is that positive outcome.
Yeah, Scott, could you speak a little bit to the about the connection between the seniors real estate specialist and relationship of the sales and marketing departments, the EDs in the senior living communities? We probably have some participants that don't know at all the relationship that's already there, and then how we are coming to them as seniors real estate specialists, not just realtors.
That's right. Well, very good question. So here in Phoenix and around the country, there are already provisions for many senior living companies, particularly independent living operations, that offer realtors a referral fee. Now, independent living doesn't require a lot of matching of care needs, and you don't need a lot of insight to make that match. It's really just a referral to a beautiful home or community. But what you also know is that senior living sales teams and or their executive directors, as they're moving families in, the families often are stuck in their process because they can't move forward until the real estate is dealt with. Many times, the equity in their homes is what they're using to do their transactions. So sometimes, Julie, it gets sludgy getting them through. And so there's a way that if a real estate agent can come into that space and offer their resources or their services into the situation, they often partner with the senior living community and do some discounts for their families that are moving in, or some expedited approach to it. And others some of their brokers have even forwarded some revenue up front to do some updating on the home so it can be sold. We have to get them out of the house so that they can get the house sold, because it doesn't sell as well with the residents still in the house. So they can get the house out, get them out of the house, get it sold. So there is an absolute opportunity that the people you're already talking to can grow both businesses simultaneously. You can walk in and talk to senior living operators on both fronts easily. Part of the program, Julie, is when the students sign up, you get a workbook from us, a digital workbook that we print out. You can print out and take all your notes, every slide to all the content is in there. But you also get an appendix full of forms and disclosure form and templates for your contracts. So you can literally get the business, take those contracts, go see somebody you want, or cut base it yourself and build a contract. And that way you can work with senior living right away.
Yeah, there's a specific language that we use in the senior living communities, and they have I don't know, specific ways of working with people who bring them families, and so it's important, and you probably will touch on this. Maybe you can talk a little bit about it, because it is very, very, it's regional and very micro market. Like my market here in San Jose is completely different than the market in San Francisco or Sacramento or even Phoenix. So, but I've endeavored to learn about the different markets and the different players in the market through what we have locally is called Senior Roundtable. And so as a seniors real estate professional, I go to these senior roundtables and they're full of senior living community marketing and salespeople and the EDs, the executive directors. So, and we have conversations all the time. And it's a huge investment in relationship building. You probably talk about that a lot, right, Scott?
Absolutely. You guys know that the greatest transfer of wealth is still in front of us in terms of what my generation, the boomers, are going to get handed to us from our families and our parents. Wealth is going to transfer in real estate. Wealth is going to transfer in assets. And so our parents are right on the cusp, and they're all getting to the point where they need to be placed. And so senior living companies are investing massively into building new communities. We have one of the new, phenomenons around here, Julie, is that you are seeing now more luxury independent living show up all over the place. They don't want to do care. They want to offer resort living for people who are in their 70s and 80s. They're still very active, very independent, and they're now popping up all over the place. Well, these people have beds in apartments that are empty, and they're trying to get their voice heard by potential residents. Well, we are the connection to that voice. And so those sales directors, those companies can only do so much outgoing marketing on their own. They need people and boots on the ground that are educated in the space, that are marketing and talking to the greater community at large. And that's where the real estate, senior real estate specialists like y'all and placement guys really, really can shine here with our efforts as we connect to the greater market that you live in. Phoenix is one of the, want to say the most concentrated areas in the country of aging, but California in general, because of your climate and it's California, so many people are in this space. We have over 940,000 individuals in my county alone that are already 65 years old. There's 100,000 80-year-olds already. We have 2,000 licensed facilities in my county. 2,000. That's the small residential homes and the big communities. And in California and in Arizona, Florida, Texas, because of the massive congestion of senior living operators and providers, the competition between them is so high that they need to partner with professionals like us to help them bring people to them and fill those beds and fill those apartments. Does that make sense? The concentration of senior living in where you guys live in the Bay and other places really drives and pushes their willingness to work with third-party outside paid referral sources like us.
Can you describe some of the national operators that you're familiar with and that you talk about in the training, such as Atria?
Yeah, so I've done business here in Phoenix for 1 million years with Atria, Brookdale, Sunrise. There are other regional operators like Kelch Senior Living, Spectrum Senior Living, Morningstar Senior Living. The contracts that I give you, I have executed with those national operators for years. Sometimes they offer contracts on their own paper. Sometimes they ask you to submit your paper. I prepare you for that in the conversation. Also, California, like Arizona, is just flush with small residential homes and operators. There in California, you call them 6 beds, Julie. Here we call them assisted living homes. Here we could go up to a license of 10. And my mom lives in a little small 5-bed house right now. So I use them all the time. And we also have a contract in the appendix that is specific for those smaller operators. The terms and the language is a little different based on that. We talk about the needs. Some of your clients are unfortunately not very well resourced, or they're going to tap out the resources rather quickly. So we talk about how to get funding. I have a whole segment, Julie, just now I've added this last few months just on how to pay for care, alternative methods for paying for care that includes like reverse mortgage or the home equity conversion mortgage now, HELOCs, insurance products, all kinds of things. So we want to help all of you guys figure out if they're going to be moving some real estate. Maybe that's going to fund it. But if they're not moving real estate and you're moving family that's already ready to work with you on the placement side, then you could have mechanism by which you could get their senior living paid for.
Well, and that's super valuable as for us to be able to bring resources like that to the conversation. Most senior living communities and sales and marketing departments, what I've been exposed to so far, the extent of their financial knowledge for a family to be able to afford to live to come there is a referral to Elder Life Financial, and that's about it. So, because that's all they know. Well, we come in and we have the resources that Scott just mentioned, plus more, and all the professional services in our seniors real estate specialist toolbox. That just makes us a more valuable senior placement or referral partner for these communities, and placing our value proposition next to, and I say I'm trying to like over and above the next realtor that the sales and marketing departments are working with. They're going to value our collaboration.
Well, and Julie, one of the topics, you put I think in your newsletter, there's a table of contents that's in there, and
yeah,
and so session 1 is becoming the professional agent. Session 2 is the language, learning the new language, all the alphabet soup that goes with learning something new, right? Last night, my daughter's buying her first house. She didn't know when we said we have to send them $1,000 to open escrow. She's like, what's escrow, right? So you have to tell your first time buyers, well, I got to teach people the language here too. We talked about doing what amounts to is an intake or a discovery, so that you, for the first time in your life, you might be talking to people about their sleeping habits, what medications they're taking, their bowel habits, when do they go to the bathroom? I mean, it's all part of aging, right? So you have these conversations. Session 4 is the paying for care. Session 5, I call it building your inventory. Session 5 and session 6, taking people through a process, taking them through a process to match them to the senior living communities that match their services, best match their care needs, or their list of priorities. And then segment 7 is all about business building. And so what you'll also find out is so much of the business building that I do on the placement side will completely overlap with the same referral sources, professional referral sources that you may already be talking to. So now you've got a new offering to go back and talk to your current referral sources, or maybe this will stimulate some new ideas for you on some new avenues, new businesses to go after, lanes of business to build both businesses in. And so then finally we do kind of a full circle and get back, and I call it mastering the operations. And we talk some more about some of the ins and outs and behind the scene things that are necessary in order to run a separate segment of your business. So it's pretty comprehensive. And then Julie, in January, we started doing what I call shop talk. And the last Tuesday of the month, for the people that have been through the program, we're now meeting as a group once a month, just to talk about everything from, getting a contract signed, helping a family get through the process. They seem to be stuck. This month, my daughter had her first encounter with a Place for Mom, which is, if you don't know, is an online lead generating company that sends out lots of leads, and it can be a complicating factor to your placement business, and it is for families. So we were having an encounter with them, and how do we navigate that? We talked about our national best practices and why they are what they are. And so I really want to offer not only just a launching point, but a place to come back and get your questions answered and be part of it. Not that anybody needs one more meeting, but I think it's worth an hour a month if you're pursuing this to check in and stay close so we can help you with the issues that you might encounter and help you support you in your success.
Well, and do you guys have any idea on what kind of money the referral fees are? So usually it depends on the market, but a referral fee on a resident that's moved in is equal to 1 month's rent that they collect from the resident. And that's basically where it starts, and then it kind of goes back and forth from there. Is that correct, Scott?
Yeah, absolutely. The average right now, Julie, we're averaging some months a little over, some months just a little under, but about 4,000 per invoice that we collect on. So you do the math. I always say a good goal to hit by the end of the first year is to maybe be moving, 3 or 4 people a month in, one a week, at 4,000 a head, and you move 40 or 50 people in, you're talking about another 160, 200 grand in total revenue. I'm not, and no joke, California is more expensive than it is over here.
So Dale, should we tell him about how much the Allure, the new property in Santa Clara, how much their rentals are? What do they start at? Do you remember?
With assisted living, wasn't it it's over 15,000 a month at least.
That's dementia care. Yeah. And it's a brand new luxury high rise here in Santa Clara, right across the street from Levi Stadium. Upscale, unassisted, assisted, and dementia care, starting at, I think it was like 8,000 for the studio.
That's independent living.
Independent, right. And then up to around 16,000 for dementia care. And also they had 2 floors of penthouses for assisted, 2-bedroom penthouses, or was it, 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom penthouses that you could even have it for unassisted. They were in the tens of thousands a month.
Well, you're hitting on it. And one of the things that's very common between the industry that you're currently engaged in plus this is that we get paid for the deal that gets done, just like you do now. But nobody's paying you on Tuesday to do your marketing. Nobody's paying you on Tuesday to go to the networking meeting, or right. We go make our money on how we shape our business activities, right? And to teach somebody that's been an employee all their life to now go be self-directed, be independent thinkers, to be creative in your approach, that's a learning curve for a lot of people. Well, for realtors, you already do it. You're already doing things you'll get paid for all day. I probably get paid on 20% of all the work I do, but you make 100% of your income on 20% of your effort. So you just got to go do it all. But we're already accustomed to living for commissions and I'm looking to help you build a stable, predictable flow to your business so that you have some constancy. It's like you don't want to ride the roller coaster where you get paid for 3 months and then don't make anything for 3 months. You want to stabilize that out, and that's a big part of the training and creating the rhythms and the routines that I've helped my team. I have done this with several dozen people. There are 5 competitive businesses in Phoenix that used to work for me or that I've trained in town. And now Lisa Dumont down in Riverside County, who's part of your group. Lisa, thank you if she's on here, thank you for coming through with the program. But Lisa introduced me to you, Julie, and I'm super grateful because she really wants to be an advocate and a wise guide for families. And I really am I'm all in and love her heart and love what she wants to do with her business.
Yeah, she's SRES. She's in our networking group. We've done a lot of good things together collaboratively. And this is just the most recent. And so yeah. Does anybody have any questions?
I saw a few in the chat, Julie. Are there complimentary referral fees? And so, yes, it's a great question. I get calls from agents around the country. I call agents around the country, and we often share somewhere between 20 and 30% of our collected fees with each other, and it's pretty usual and customary. So when you've got a family leaving and moving to Phoenix, if you got some of those folks that are leaving California coming here, you let me know they're from you, and we'll do a deal and send part of the referral fee back. That's a good part of your business. And I've got one that went out in the mail today to a good friend of mine in Denver who sent me a client. So
And
that was one of the questions. Yeah, go ahead.
you have a document for that.
Yes.
Because all of this is outside the business of real estate.
Yeah.
So it's a separate agreement outside the business of real estate. And taking it a little further, it's your broker is not involved at all, just to make that clear. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to type in. Sherry asked, it said if I could I'm going to put the dates in the chat for April, 4/22 and 4/24.
And I'll put it in the bulletin for next week as well.
I'm just scanning for other questions. No license is required. We are a completely unregulated, unlicensed industry. There's some very limited, I would say there's very limited regulation, but no license required. The National Placement Referral Alliance suggests that you be incorporated, you have contracts, things like that. We do also here in our Phoenix group. New message just came across. Who sent that? Yes, it is not a real estate referral, just a placement fee. Most of these senior living operators now, where you might find some pushback is in what we call the CCRCs, or they're commonly referred to as buy-in communities, places where you have to spend hundreds of thousands or even million to get in. Usually they won't pay us a fee, and I'll talk about that in the training on how to work with families that might be something they're interested in. But most senior living companies now, national and the small residential homes, depend upon third-party referring partners like us, and this is pretty common practice all over the place.
Joe, I saw your question. The link is on the bulletin. It'll be in the bulletin next week as well. And further information, you can contact me directly. And you can
Julie,
also contact Scott directly as well. He's available for that.
I just dropped my email in the chat, Julie.
Mm-hmm.
And so anybody wants to talk directly about more information, I have an overview, a group of slides. We can go over and do a demo together. If you'd like to get in on classes next week, email me pronto and we'll get you in. If you want to get scheduled and pre-scheduled for the April dates, I am tentatively looking at some May dates as well, mid-May. But I haven't gotten that far yet. I'm just focused on the March and the April classes right at the moment.
Amazing.
All right. I'm so grateful.
I'm so excited. I mean, for some of you, let me know for some of you. I mean, is this brand new information for you?
Yes.
Yeah, I talked to an agent down in Orange County yesterday I've talked to agents around the country that are in their 60s and their 70s, and they want to do this. They think that they can offer something valuable. They've already got a big network. Everybody 45 to 65 has a parent or somebody that we know. It's everybody, and it's all around us. And our community needs highly compassionate, better trained people to give the right guidance to families when they need it.
Dee, you had a question. Hi, Dee. Do you have a question?
No, you said, had we ever heard of this? And I was just clapping my hand like this is some good stuff. But my question is, I see Scott's dates for class, but I don't see his email.
I just dropped it in the chat, D. Scott at optionsfsl.com. Just scroll back up the chat, should be there.
I have a question for Scott.
Yes.
This is JD. Do board and care facilities do referral payments?
Yes, many of them do. And our local reimbursement on those is 100% of the first month's rent. I typically charge them, JD, over 2 months. So we charge half the first month, half the second. I know lots and lots of agents in California. And so if you're in California, certainly want to guide you the right way to set up your billing and collecting to be kind of commensurate with what's the industry or the community standard. But we do 100% reimbursement on those over here.
Okay. What's the typical rent that they have?
The bottom is around $3,000 anymore, 3,200, because that's kind of where Medicaid starts picking up. And we have a pretty robust program with our state Medicaid program, JD, where people that are on Medicaid can select to go to assisted living if they qualify for benefits, as well as skilled nursing. In California, it's more heavily tilted towards the skilleds. But around 3 is the low end, some outliers to that. On the high end, 13, 15 grand for the most luxury homes in Scottsdale and Paradise Valley for master suites and things like that. But
Wow.
I would say 4 to 7 captures probably most everybody, but you spend a whole lot more and get by on a little less. Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
You bet. I would love to. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I just want to say, please take advantage of Give Me a Jingle. Reach out. We have one-on-one conversations. That's the best way to further explore this. Get on, do a demo with me, and think about your questions. And if you have further questions, just hit me an email. I'll be home from the ball game this afternoon, and I'll be. I want to say our team meeting, and then I'll respond.
Amazing, amazing. Any more questions? My head is spinning, so.
I talk a lot.
Well, I have so many ideas but you guys know that.
Yeah. Well, Julie, I'm excited about what we're going to do together, because I know I'm going to help you add to your offering there in the Bay, and you're going to touch more lives because of who you are than you just by adding to what you're already doing. And it's going to pay off. It's going to pay off well.
Totally.
Yeah.
All righty. So, hey, Scott, what time does the game start? I mean, it's 1:00. 1:08.
All right, it's 1:08 game. I think they just played the Star Spangled Banner, and I'm seeing a face on the stage on the screen. So I bet their first pitch is happening. So
okay. So when are the Giants on the schedule?
Oh, they're here now. We were closest to the Cubs game today where we were, so we're over at the Cubs game. I got tickets Monday night for Reds and the Indians. The Giants play down in Scottsdale. So this is the time of the year to be here in Phoenix.
Oh boy.
Just look around. It's that time. It's not August. It's not August yet.
Yeah. All righty. Well, you go and have a good time, and I'll just continue to tell people a little bit more about it, and then you just go and have a good time, and then I'll see you on the computer later.
Sounds good. Joseph,
Thank
I
you.
appreciate that. You bet. And Julie, I'll call you the next day or so.
Perfect. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Appreciate this very much. Thanks, you guys.
I have a couple things. Let's see. I was going to add to this whole opportunity of senior placement and referral. And so, Brandon, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to say hi, and I'm going to say, where are you calling in from?
Hi, I'm Brandon. I'm calling in from the San Francisco Bay Area.
Oh, you're my neighbor. Okay.
Yeah. So I was actually, I see that Dale just hopped off, but I was actually introduced to Dale by a mutual friend of ours, a buddy of mine. I've known for 10 years. He's in your guys' industry, and he has I guess you could say assisted living facilities that he started with residential properties, and now he's starting to expand. I myself, I'm not in the senior care industry, but I have created an initiative with my firm to specifically help seniors. So I work in the financial service space in the advanced planning world. And I was actually talking to Dale about it. There are some specific tax strategies that we've used in the past to help seniors sell highly appreciated assets like stock, businesses, real estate portfolios, et cetera. And by doing this, they're actually able to completely eliminate their capital gains tax burden, which increases their profit by about 20 to 30 to almost 40%, which increases their ability to afford the care that they need. And I'm actually we've already created an initiative to help these seniors. And I told Dale that I'm looking for like-minded professionals that have good morals and they care about the people that they're working with. And he said, you have to meet with Julie.
Well,
we
do appreciate any and all resources for tools especially for tax deferment, for capital gains, risk management. And a part of that discussion that we have with senior homeowners and the families of senior homeowners is that initial objection. So, looking very much forward to the types of products that you have to share with us going forward. That's great, because it is it's a lot. It's a lot. And it's a lot even for us as real estate professionals, and never mind seniors real estate professionals. That just adds a whole nother set of a whole other level of information that we bring to our clients. And so I'd like to just say, maybe Pam, do you have in your area, so you're outside of Orlando, by Orlando, and the senior living communities, did any of this click with you? Do you see having conversations with your senior living communities out there?
Well, yeah, I do now. It's really kind of lit my brain up. There are a lot of companies around here though that do this very thing. You
Yeah.
know, they
It's Florida.
they take people around, they'll go visit the different places. The prices are outrageous. Our neighbor just got placed, and I think he's paying like $6,000-7,000 a month. And it's crazy. But I am now starting to think how I can, introduce myself to them. And I'm also a retired RN.
See, that's
so
perfect.
I know my head's like exploding because I
exactly.
already felt like I had, and that's why I did the SRES, because I said, wait a minute, I've got, decades of assessment skills, and I know what people need and what was going to work for them and what won't work for them. So it's really just kind of trying to expand my market and my clientele so that I can do this sort of thing. Because really, that's what I wanted. That's why I went into real estate anyway, was,
Mhm.
you know, to help and solve problems and, you know, and especially for seniors.
Well, probably in your market there, and in all of our markets, okay, there are franchise companies for senior placement. Oasis is one of our local franchise companies. They're national in nature. There's a bunch of them, and that this is their specific job. They're not thrilled that we as SRES are starting to make this connection.
Exactly.
However, I'm endeavoring to create a collaboration with the local senior placement professionals. We're not planning on taking over their business. I
No.
prefer to work with senior placement professionals already established in whatever market you're in, because they're already there, with a collaborative effort.
Right.
And start out that way, so that we can serve the senior homeowner and the families of senior homeowners at a higher level, and not as a competing type situation.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And in my market, I just mentioned the Allure earlier. I can't remember off the top of my head how many units are in that building, but it's a 12 or 20 story high rise. I don't know. It's huge. It's not even open yet. So I have that many rooms to sell. I have that many units to sell. Like, just that. But all of us that are in this market, and this is what I tell my real estate colleagues, and we have a whole building of units to sell that we can integrate into our farming as SRES. So this is sort of the start of the next level that I'm taking it for us as realtors. We're going to integrate this whole opportunity into our marketing, into our farming, and make it an actual revenue stream, pipeline. Do you know the senior living pipeline? They have a longer pipeline than we do as realtors, which I learned this early on, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. I thought we had a long pipeline, especially working with senior homeowners. I mean, that's a really long pipeline. Theirs is over 5 years from the first conversation, first touch to a move-in. Over 5 years. So that made me feel a lot better about some of the closings we get. And I was like, oh, all right, well, we can work with that. We're not afraid. And I want to, okay, so the other thing I was thinking of too, because we have another Merrill Gardens in South San Jose, that's going to be another 168 something units, luxury. We already have a half a dozen Merrill Gardens just in my county. Now they're building the luxury one. It's not even open yet. I got another 160 some odd units to work into my farming. What that means is we're going to tell senior homeowners and the families of senior homeowners, there's this solution, there's this option. It's coming to your neighborhood. And so we put a little bug in their head. Oh, I could sell my house in Almaden right now that's worth $3 million and just go up the street to a luxury penthouse at Merrill Gardens. Probably not pay much more than I'm paying now to live, and I'll be taken care of. Well, we're there to help you facilitate that. So that's the opportunity here. So that was just my 2 cents worth. Anybody got anything else they think about it or ideas?
Well, not about that, but I've got a couple announcements. As you see in the the chat, I've listed the upcoming sessions for the next, well, however many months down through the middle of May, so you can get an idea of what's coming up. The other thing is that you see the one on June 13th is on universal design. And those of you that took my class probably remember in chapter 6, independent living, about I call her the universal design queen, Rosemary Rossetti, who wrote the universal design handbook, and she is going to be the speaker. Now, I've contacted her, and she would like to get questions from you folks now so that she can build her session, with the questions that you might have. And if you could probably email them to me at this address, that would be wonderful. So if you have any questions on universal design and you want to hop in on that May 13th meeting, which I strongly recommend you do, please email them to me and I can send them on to her. She would like to have them as soon as possible. So if you could do that soon, that would really be helpful. And lastly,
well, I was just going to say, is there anybody here in this particular group that doesn't know what universal design is?
I don't. I was just about to ask that, and I am so sorry. I am driving back from an inspection, so I am listening in.
Okay, perfect.
well, universal design is the ability for people of all functional levels to use things. Houses are built with universal design or could be converted to them or have elements of it added. For instance, a doorknob, which is round, is harder to turn than a lever one would be. Light switches, you could have a rocker panel instead of the switches. Eliminating steps and making things wheelchair friendly. The ability to get on the second story, which can be an elevator, it could be one of those chair lifts. There's some other options. All this has to do with universal design. And for those of you that weren't exposed to it, you might want to take my course over again. That's the third thing I was going to say. It's August 12th and 13th. And I should have flyers by next week and I can post. But remember, SRES agents can retake it for $99. And I do supersize the class. I put a lot of stuff in that I got from the CSA course and from my own personal experiences. So that would be good. But also the chapter in universal design, I amplified quite a bit because of Rosemary's information. And she's really going to be worth watching the session in May for.
When is the
Yeah,
class?
universal. Go ahead, Michelin.
I just want to know when all those classes are going to be.
When?
Yes. Or all, no, I'm sorry. I saw the dates, but the location, is it all Zoom and you're sending out a link?
Yeah, this is our Tuesday groups. This is the plan for our Tuesday meetings.
Oh, okay.
Up through May.
Okay, I thought this was something separate.
No.
Okay.
I
Glad
think you
you
were just
clarified.
collecting questions for the presenter. That's all, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Well, just for the
Yeah.
universal design one.
Yeah.
The universal. So let me see if I can understand. So it sounds like universal design is something that makes the home kind of almost like you have a child-friendly home. Maybe you have like a senior-friendly home. Is that kind of like that? Or
Well,
that's perfect for that.
Seniors and children have different abilities, but the thing is they can certainly use the universal design features equally as well. It's kind of like the age-friendly city. It's good for anybody that has different levels of abilities. So
Right. Well, what I meant is that the home would be built like, for instance, like showers, you can roll a wheelchair right
exactly,
into the shower. You don't have a lift. It could just be straight. And you have like um, wider hallways. And the steps maybe, like you said, with the chair lifts, chairlift friendly, or I don't know,
exactly.
but
Yes.
yeah, where you can build in these features to make it easier, for seniors to get to things or to use it. Okay. And is that universal design? Is this an actual, like a contractor company that actually comes and does these things, or
Well, there are
is that
universal
like a code
design
or?
contractors. The idea is that
Oh,
the people with universal design knowledge will put them to use within the home. A certified aging in place specialist would probably be well versed on universal design, and it's something that
mhm.
uh, the people that are dealing with there's contractors, there's uh, all different kinds of placement people that could use it. So I've got see, I'm getting it right now. Rosemary's link here that you can get her universal design handbook, which explains it all, and it's really worthwhile. But um, you might want to Google her, or find her LinkedIn page. She's really pretty interesting. She talks all over the country, actually all over the world. And like I say, I consider her the universal design queen. So, yeah.
Well, very good. It sounds like something my parents can use, because my dad's like these, assisted living or senior communities, is he doesn't want to go and see a bunch of old people. He wants to stay in his own home. So with my mom who has dementia, where he has to take care of her. So it sounds like something perfect for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you guys mind me making an announcement? It doesn't have to do with seniors, it's more with Make-A-Wish, but if not, I understand.
No, go ahead, Lyndon.
Okay, so this coming Thursday, and I sent a flyer. I don't know if you got it, Julie. But we are having, oh, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We are having it's a fundraiser for Make-A-Wish. And it's actually going to be on one of my upcoming listings. It's an 8,000 custom designed home, square foot. And we're going to be doing a poker tournament. I know it sounds a little bit like, risque. I don't even drink. I don't even play poker, but it is for a good cause. And one of our sponsors knows a lot about holding these poker tournaments. You don't even have to be playing poker. You want to just come and see the house. I'll give you a personal tour. And just, maybe observe the tournament. We have a giving wall for Make-A-Wish. So it is for a good cause for children who have terminal illnesses. So it's this coming Thursday. And Julie, I can resend you the flyer if you want to send it out again. But it's on Pine Avenue. It's in Willow Glen, and it's a gorgeous custom-made home. And I'd love to show it to you guys while supporting a good cause.
Well, of course, that's fabulous. Two things. You're creating an event for your listing, and you're also making it an opportunity to share for Make-A-Wish. So it's all the business of real estate. Okay. We're good with that. We're good with that. Totally.
Yes. And the owner is also a very interesting person. He's actually travels and speaks. He's written books. And so we'd love to, one of his books is actually in the library in this home that has its own library. So would love to share, but it'll be 7:30 is like, you can just come in, sign up, you know, have some drinks, hors d'oeuvres, and then 8 o'clock is when the cards fly. So yeah.
Okay, well, I'll have to take a nap then in the afternoon.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Oh my gosh, that was a lot of stuff. So thank you so much, Brandon and Pam, and your first time here today. Good to see everybody. Margarita, D, JD.
Hi, Julie.
So Katie, Mick
Hi,
Julie. Next week we're having Heart of the Valley. It's our local, a local volunteer agency, for services for seniors and senior homeowners and the families of senior homeowners. We like to, Skip is really good at this. Find people that we can utilize as resources when we are having conversations, interactions, and actual transactions with our senior homeowners and the families of senior homeowners. And all of this is just great stuff for our tool belts. If you guys have anything you want to talk about, and Brandon, pretty soon we'll probably have you do a presentation on your favorite product and education piece. So if you guys think of something, just let me know. And otherwise, everybody have a great week.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Skip. Thank you, everyone. Have a good
Thank
week.
you.
Thanks.
See you on Thursday.
Have a good day.
Thank you.